Hello race fans, this is Anthony with BBSN and we are back for race number 11 in the 2018 Scram season, the Rubicon Wireless 400, and that will be held today at Heart of America Motor Speedway in the Midwest. And our TV driver selection, Marlon McGarry, who won last week's race, will be one of the TV drivers selected automatically, and Dick Exum of Team Exum, who has taken a limited role in racing this season behind his young protege Aaron Hartley. And he will be in the field this week, and he made the TV field based on his response to critics who questioned why he would run when Aaron Hartley has been on such a hot streak lately. And Exum's interview, which has now been rebroadcast over most sports talk shows, basically ended with him saying it's because it's his damn team and storming off the set. So Exum, earning the nickname of Dastardly Dick in that one, got him the second TV spot this week. So we will roll for the other TV drivers. And total of 7, so we will select 5 more. And they are in order. Clark Snook, and Snook, who already has a gold trophy, so he will be the first. And Dangerous Denny Baker, the second. Jeff Daly Jr., the third. And Paul Chen, once again, getting a spot in the TV drivers field. And Ralph Roach, who has had difficulty qualifying this season. In fact, has appeared in a grand total of 2 races out of the previous 10. So that bodes well for him. And we will go ahead and swap their cards out and then see where each of them falls in this week's qualifying. So this will be a big boon for Roach. Roach has been, in both races he's been in, he's gotten involved in a feud, and then subsequently that feud has fizzled out because he has failed to qualify the week after. So we will see how he does today and if he's able to make it through a race without causing any distraction or problems. And speaking of feuds, today's feuding, there's actually 2 feuds currently going on, and they are between the 10 and 36 car, and that would be Evan High-Tech U-Tech and Rowdy Randy Kendrick. And then also between the 73 and 2 cars, Joey Plonka and Kerry Cacciola. And that feud apparently came up after an incident in last week's race, but it continued post-race where the two began to argue, and finally having enough, Plonka somewhat sarcastically mussed up Kerry Cacciola's hair and then walked away when Cacciola had to be restrained. So that will carry on to the track. As most people on the Scram circuit know, Cacciola does not like his hairdo being touched. So we will roll and see how everyone ends up. First for Clark Snook. And 31 is going to be a minor altercation with next drawn TV driver. Both drivers placement C. So that will put both Snook and Denny Baker on the fuming list, and placement C is going to get them trophy driver blue die position in the middle group, which is 1. So Baker and Cacciola will start right next, or Snook, sorry, and Baker will start right next to each other in 8th and 9th spot. And on to Jeff Daly Jr. And 26, and that's a hot week in hot laps, placement A plus performance chip. And Daly, he is a silver trophy driver, so he'll get a performance chip and the 4th position in the top group. Gets him off to a good start. Next up is Paul Chen. And Chen, 46. And hot week in hot laps, placement B plus performance chip, and gold and silver get placement A. So a non-trophy driver gains next position in bottom group. And in the bottom group, unfortunately, he will not get a performance chip, but he is securely in the field. And for Ralph Roach, we have a 13. Rex in qualifying placement D, and placement D, non-trophy driver fails to qualify. So much for Ralph Roach's very brief attempt or run here, as he's out of the race. Guess that just saves him the humiliation later. And Dick Exum, 34. And 34, tire problem during qualifying, placement D. So he is going to go to the bubble stack. So a couple of our drawn TV drivers having a rough time. And finally, Marlon McGarry, last week's race winner, a 43. And engine trouble during qualifying, placement D as well. So we hit about 50% good and bad with the TV drivers this week. And we'll move on to fast qualifiers now. And fast qualifiers, we will have 9 of them. So first of our fast qualifiers is Greg Carl, and for the fast qualifiers, a bronze goes to highest available position in middle group. Mooch Thomas makes it a fast qualifier, so he gets the next position in the bottom group. So Moochmania will run wild here at the Rubicon Wireless 400 as Chuck DeFaro, and he gets highest available position in top group. We're still looking for our pole sitter. Robbie Petrosky goes to the number 3 spot, and Cam Croyle, and Croyle has won the pole. Finally, Jordy Pettis, and Pettis, the Electric Gypsy, gets the 4th spot. Monica Merritt comes in 6th. KJ Nakashima, he'll get next position in middle group. And finally, Alex Hodge. So Hodge has had difficulty qualifying as well, but he's going to get in the bottom group. So a couple of a good week so far for 3 of our non-trophy drivers at least. And we will have 11 slow qualifiers, and I have a feeling this will weed a lot of the remaining non-trophy drivers out. So the first one, and here gold goes to bottom group. Everybody else that has a trophy goes to bubble stack, and no trophy does not qualify. So Julie Justice, bottom group. Craig Greco, bottom group. And Chris Wynn, bubble stack. Kevin Pettis, bubble stack. Brooks Bilovich, bottom group. And Sonny Swain, bubble stacks. We might have some Nick Fenstemacher. He does not qualify. No shocker for him. The Alabama badass Billy Brett goes to the bubble stack. And Vic Holder. And actually, I'm sorry, he also goes to the bubble stack. Blake Schlegel does not qualify, and Lonnie Lane goes to the bubble stack. So everybody else has a normal qualifying week. And that means gold, there's 1 position up top, so gold will go there. And then gold and silver will fill out the middle group once that's filled. And bronze to the bottom group, everyone else bubble stack. So Ray Bob Walker, the Duke of Dixie, gets the last position up top. And Evan Utek, and again, he is in a feud with Rowdy Randy Kendrick this week. Jason Leonard, middle stack. Wayne Big Sky Montana in the middle group. Trevor Trostel in the middle group as well. And Gary Pine goes to the bottom group. Kerry Cacciola, middle group. And Scott Steckel, bubble stack. He is probably not going to get in the race. Mark 4th joins him there. Joey Plonka, and Plonka also goes to the middle group. So middle group is almost full. Pete McAtee and Lucas Vanover, bottom group. And Rowdy Randy Kendrick gets the last position in the middle group. And Fetterman to Bubble Stack Rossi, bottom. Disco Stu Urich, bottom. Austin Bigler, bottom. Kurt Bryson, bottom. Graham Pleasant. And Corey Wallace will not qualify. Donnie Schrupp. And Donnie Schrupp, the Cinderella Man, 2 top 10 finishes, and he will not see the field in this race, unfortunately. Kenny Hicks will be joining him down there, as will Marty Mullen. And finally, Sean Hashhagen. So actually, we do have some spots here. So let's start. Dick Exum, Marlon McGarry, Chris Wynn, KP, Kevin Pettis, Sonny Swain, the Alabama Badass, Vic Holder, Lonnie Lane, and Scott Steckel of the Cursed 55 team gets the final spot in the field. So our non-qualifiers, Mark Forth, Chase Fetterman, Corey Wallace, the Cinderella Man, Donnie Schrupp, Kenny Hicks, and Marty Mullen. So with that, we are ready to start our engines and get ready for the Rubicon Wireless 400. And as we get ready to start the race, I just want to give a shout out to our race sponsors today. And we will talk a little bit about each of them during pit stops and also at the start of the race. And those sponsors will be after further review with Steve Tower, Dave with his Baseball Demos channel, Eric at Higher Ground Gaming, ID Jester, and Al Red Sox Fan. And to start the race, and we'll basically just talk a little bit about each of those channels. And again, please go and support all our friends of the channel. They do a great job with YouTube sports and tabletop hobbies and other ventures. After further review will be our pre-race sponsor. And again, Steve Tower there does a great job. That is the place for all things play. That's Plaay. And he personally is probably responsible more than anyone for getting me to buy this game, as well as Soccer Blast, which is also an amazing game. I also have History Maker Baseball, which I need to start playing again. But Steve there does basically Soccer Blast, History Maker Baseball. He has a season replay going on with the Fictional League. Of course, Red, White, and Blue Racing periodically has done Hockey Blast as well. And also Title Bout 2 board game, which is also an excellent board game, the second offering from Jim Trunzo. So give Steve a look. And again, that is after further review. And I'm sure this week he'll probably be having an update from this past weekend's Play.con convention in Denver, Colorado, which was just a convention of folks who play the Play, and that's Plaay.com website games. Keith Avalone does a great job with those games, and again, you see the amount of time I give this one. So give that website a look as well. And with that, we will get things going here as the green flag goes down. And we're off and running the Rubicon Wireless 400. And our first check is going to be in the second group, and that will be a skill check. And I would be remiss if I did not mention that Heart of America Speedway does have a modifier. It is a +1 to repair, so it is actually a friendly track in terms of drivers. So with the skill check, and we will start with the rowdy one, Randy Kendrick, looking to move up. And Kendrick, he is coming up fast and passes his gas pedal check, and he is going after the second spot, Robbie Petrosky. And Petrosky has the skill trait and 1 bonus, but that will not be enough. So Kendrick making a big move early in the race up into the top group in 3rd place. We will then move up to Joey Plonka, who has the double skill trait. And Plonka misses his first gas pedal check. He'll give it another go. And this time he hits it, but a blue one will get fought off, and he was going after Jordy Pettis, the Electric Gypsy. Kerry Cacciola also has a skill trait, and Cacciola hits the gas pedal check and going after the 4th position, and that will be Jeff Daly Jr. Enough to get it done, but Daly Jr., a slick move, uses a performance chip and fights him off. Next up, Trevor Trostel. And Trostel goes after Monica Merrick, and he gets that done with ease. So Merrick back into the middle group, and the Terminator. And Trostel, he has had a couple of disappointing weeks, so he'll look to get things back on track. Wayne Big Sky Montana follows suit now, passes a gas pedal check, and he is going after the 2nd car. Rowdy Randy Kendrick, and Kendrick with 2 brake pedals. The bonus fights it off easily. The Rowdy one getting a little aggressive as Montana slips back to 14th place. Next up, Evan High-Tech UTEC, and UTEC going after Kendrick, and these two are feuding, and nothing happens this time, but Kendrick does fight him off, so UTEC will probably be understandably a bit more chagrined, and we'll have his eyes on Kendrick as the race goes on. Dangerous Denny Baker is next, and Baker fails the gas pedal check. And finally, the snooker, Clark Snook. And Snook fails the gas pedal check, so that wraps up turn number 1, and we are off and running here. And second turn of the race. And we're going to have our first duel, and it is going to be a feud. So we have 2 drivers on the feud list. Again, UTEC and Kendrick, who just clashed there in that opening lap. And also on there is Cacciola and Joey Plonka, and they're in very close proximity to each other. So a bullet will be the first, and no bullet. This will be Cacciola and Plonka. So Cacciola is the rabbit and Plonka the turtle. Let's see what happens here, as it's going to get crazy early. And Turtle and Rabbit out, plus yellow. So they bump heads, take each other out of the race on the 2nd lap. And wow, Cacciola and Plonka. And that is going to carry over the feud into next week's race as well. So Cacciola, and they're probably going to have to be separated when they get back to the pits. And that settles nothing as both of them go out on a crash. So Plonka, he's going to finish in 73rd position. And Cacciola, or 73rd, 73 car in 43rd position. And Cacciola in 42nd. And Cacciola had been making a run. Plonka had been had fallen off after a fairly fast start, but Cacciola had been making up some ground. And that is not going to help his cause a bit, as they are both on the sideline now, and we will have turn 3 under yellow. So with that, everybody will move up, and coming up from the second group is Paul Chen, and Mooch Thomas, much to the delight of the crowd, slips into the middle group, and Mooch Mania running wild, as always, whenever the Mooch Man makes a field. So we are down now to 41 cars left, and we will move on to turn number 4. And we have another duel, and this is going to be the number 6 car in the top group. And Ray Bob Walker, and Walker weighing his odds here, and he's going after Chuck DeFaro, and he needs a roll of 4 or better. He gets it, so Ray Bob up into the 2nd spot there, and DeFaro will have to make a save. And Escape 9 or less, and DeFaro does not get it done. So he is collected, and let's see if he is able to be repaired. And again, +1 to the repair rolls here. And a C-grade pit would normally be a 1 to 9, needs to be or 2 to 10, and he gets it done. So he'll go to the back of the field and be a lap down. And that is going to put Tufaro on the fuming list. So he joins Snook and Baker there, and we have a lot of tempers flaring. And in this case, there will be no yellow, so we'll have to pass gas pedal to move up, and Snook up into the top group. And a lot of movement early in this one as tempers are flaring on the track, and that is probably going to make for a very interesting race. Hodge, our third non-trophy driver, moves into the second group behind Chen and the Mooch Man. And who would have thought that Chen, Mooch Thomas, and Alex Hodge would be leading Julie Justice, even though it's only a few laps into the race. Something that does not happen very much, if ever, as we head to turn number 5 now. And turn 5, bottom group, and that is going to be a trouble. So trouble, doubles normally you would roll. However, one of the optional rules which I had not been using, which I'm going to start using, is if there are any of the drivers with these triangles in the group, when a problem check comes up, you would use them first. So there's 2. The bullet will be the Alabama Badass, and the blank will be Scott Steckel. And Billy Brett, he's going to have to make a problem check here early in the race. And in the first third, he has a D pit crew, and that is going to mean a roll of 1 to 5. Well, let's find out what the problem is first. Guess I should do that. 45. And 45, radiator damage, roll for repair. So Brett, he'll get a +1 to that. And so he will need to make a roll of 2 to 6 to stay in this race, and he does so. But he is going to go a lap down now and fall to the back. No yellow flag there, and we will proceed with our skill check. So Chuck Tufaro is going to get a chance to get back on the lead lap here. And he'll have to get past Cam Croyle, and that is going to take a blue 4 to get done, as Croyle does not have the skill trait. So passes a gas pedal check, and Tufaro, a blue 6, is going to get it done. He is back on the lead lap, and that takes us up to Lonnie Lane. Driver's now going for the middle group, and Lane going after the number 4 even spot, and that is Monica Merrick. And Merrick not going to be able to fight him off, so she has fallen rapidly from starting in the top group all the way back to 38th place. Next up will be Vic Holder. And Holder going after the 5th position, and 5th position odd. He is going to fail his gas pedal check, however. Sunny Swain, and she needs at least a 3. She fails a gas pedal check. KP, Kevin Pettis up next. And Pettis going after the 3rd spot, and that will be Jason Leonard. And Leonard not going to be able to fight Pettis off, so he makes a nice vault up from 35th place to 12th. Chris Wynn goes next. We have a lot of skill back in that field. He fails the gas pedal check, however. McGarry does not have it. Dick Exum does not have it. And we'll go all the way up to Kurt Bryson in 28th place currently. And Bryson going after 3 odd, and that will be Wayne Big Sky Montana. And Montana has a skill trait and a brake pedal, but not going to be enough as Bryson edges him out, sneaks into 13th place, and Big Sky down to the bottom group. Austin Bigler going to take his run at it. And going after the 3rd spot, even, that will be KP, Kevin Pettis, who just got there, and Pettis, Bigler was right on his tail, and as Pettis felt comfortable, Bigler zipped by, and Pettis back to the bottom group. Disco Stu going to give it a crack now. And Disco Stu going after 6 even. That's the Mooch Man, Mooch Thomas. So Thomas, unfortunately, going to get bumped back into the bottom group where he is probably safest. And that takes us all the way up to Craig Greco, and him and Julie Justice will get the last 2 cracks. And he's going after Alex Hodge, so the non-trophy driver's coming under siege here as Greco vaults up. Hodge only drops a couple of places, and finally Julie Justice. And Justice going after the 4th spot, even Lonnie Lane, and she's going to get it done. So the Queen of Scram makes a little move, gets into the middle group. And we head into turn number 6, 1 turn away from a pit stop. And see if things settle down and start to get a little cleaner out on the track. And top group, this is going to be a reflex check. So in the top group, Clark Snook's going to be the first one to go at Croyle. Croyle has the reflex trait plus a brake pedal bonus, so it's going to take a blue 5 to supplant him. And Snook says, no problem. Zips by into first place. Feints one way, goes down inside, and Croyle, you got snookered as the new leader is the number 9 car, and to get up there is also going to take a roll of actually 6 to get past him now, so Trostle going to give it a shot. A blue 6, no go. Jeff Daly Jr. will be next, no. Jordy Pettis does not have it, nor does Kendrick, and Ray Bob Walker does, and he has a performance chip. So Ray Bob, he would not have gotten it done, but he's going to spend that chip and say, I'll see your snooker and raise you the Duke of Dixie, and he vaults up into first place. So we will have a new leader as we head into the pits, and Croyle, who led from lap 1 through 6. And a pretty good chance that Ray Bob's lead is only going to last a single lap as we head into the pits here. And pit stop, that is going to be the top group and the leader. And we have a potential doubles there. We have a pit violation as well, so we will resolve that first. Okay, so pit violation, and that is going to be the number 3 car, Jordy Pettis. Let's see what he did. And Pettis, aggressive behavior, and he is going to get bounced. So Pettis sent to the back of the pack, and he will be just in front of Billy Brett, who is a lap down. And everybody will move up. And Denny Baker needs a 3 to get into the top group. No. Carl needs a 3. No. KJ Nakashima needs a 3. No. UTEC needs a 4. He can't get it done. Bigler. And Bigler gets it done. So he moves up, and that will bring up another driver from the bottom. So Lonnie Lane, a 3 or better, and does not get it. Alex Hodge. And Hodge does. So he moves back up into the middle group. All right, and we are ready now to roll for, and of course with doubles, no cars are going to switch places, double 5s. So we'll roll for our performance chips now. So fast pit for Ray Bob, he needs a 9. He's got 1. Clark Snook needs a 9. No dice. Kendrick, And Kendrick needs a 6. He gets it, so the Rowdy won. And if you remember, him and Snook had a little run-in. Kendrick broke a Bluetooth speaker in the pit area that belonged to Snook's crew as they were taunting him. So Croyle, and it looks like everybody is going to get a performance chip but Snook in the top group, and we will see who challenges the leader coming out of the pit. And it is going to be Jeff Daly Jr. So Jeff Daly Jr. needs a 5 or less. He gets it done, and Ray Bob, we will see if they use their performance chips. They do not. So Ray Bob concedes the lead. And both drivers keep their performance chips. So our new leader for lap number 8 is going to be Jeff Daly Jr. in the 63 car. And he's kind of had a quiet season, has run fairly consistently, just hasn't made a lot of noise as we head to turn 8 now. And top group, and that is going to be a heat check. And that will start with Austin Bigler. So Bigler going after the lead, and that's going to get defended, and that's going to be a problem for Bigler. So that can nullify all further checks. Let's see what happens first, though. So 42, brake trouble, roll for repair. We are still in the first third, and he has a B pit crew. So it'll be a 1 to 10 roll to salvage it for him, and he barely gets it done. And again, you cannot use a performance chip to get out of a problem. So he is going to go to the back of the pack, and he will be a lap down as they have to work on his brakes. And that pretty much is going to put an end to that. So Daly will retain the lead coming out of the pits, and Denny Baker moves up into the top group. And Lonnie Lane will look to come up into the middle group. No, Bilovich will get it done. So despite this track being very forgiving on the repairs, we still have quite a few problems early on here. And 2 drivers already a lap down as we head. Oh, I'm sorry, after we finish our heat check, my bad. So everyone else will go through. There was no yellow on that, so Cam Croyle will go next. And Croyle would have been successful. Let's see if they both is successful, and they both utilize their chips, so we will have a new leader. And next up, Trostel does not have it. Ray Bob does, the Duke of Dixie. And Ray Bob would not get it done, but he's going to use his performance chip to vault up there. And Rowdy Randy Kendrick will go next. He gets it done without losing his performance chip, so he will retain that and supplant Walker in the lead, and finally Clark Snook. And Snook passes the gas pedal check, but he's going to get defended, and Kendrick gets to keep his performance chip. And I'm sure that little series gave him great delight. So now we will head to lap 9, and Rowdy Randy Kendrick is in the lead. And top group, and 9 is going to be a control check. And that usually consists of most drivers, with the well, spoke too soon. Baker and Daly do not have it. Trevor Trostel does. And Trostel, he is going to get it done successfully, so he'll be our new leader. We have a lot of back and forth up front, and they both keep their performance chips, so Kendrick will concede. And Trostel has no problem there with that. So we're going to have a new leader on lap 10 now. And Cam Croyle goes next. And to get up here past Trostel, who has the trait and a total of 5 brake pedal stars with the bonus and the trait. It'll need a blue 6. And Croyle cannot get it done. Ray Bob Walker. Ray Bob gets it done, but Trostel says, I'm going to spend that and keep you right where you belong. And Clark Snoop, double control. He's going to get 2 cracks at it. Again, needs a blue 6. Doesn't get it done the first time. And does not get it done the second time. So Trostel fights off some stiff challenges as we move on. And lap number 10, and the Terminator now is your new leader. And we're going back to the top group again. This is going to be a TV check, so that will be Snook, Daly, and Baker. So starting with Baker, and this will take a blue 5, considering everything else passes, and Baker fails. Daly coming up on the outside, and Trostel, a nice move at the end, just fights him off. And finally Clark Snook, and Snook, he's going to get it done easily as Trostel was preoccupied with Daly, and Snook vaults up into first place. So we go to lap 11, or turn 11, and we have yet another new leader. So we've had the last 5 laps a different leader on each lap. Let's see if Snook can hold on to that position for at least a couple of turns. And he will as we head to the bottom group. And this will be a control check. So down at the bottom, Austin Bigler looking to get back on the lead lap, and that is going to be tough against Snook. He'll have to roll a blue 6 to have a shot at it. Nope. Billy Brett, the same. Nope. And now going for the middle group, Jordy Pettis. And Pettis going after the 6th position even, which is Alex Hodge. And Pettis, he's going to get back up there. So the Electric Gypsy promptly moves back up into a contending position. Next up, Chuck Tafaro. And Tafaro passes control check, and he's going after 1 even, which is Greg Carl. Carl has the trait, but he cannot fight off Tafaro. So lots of movement here, and Scott Steckel of the dreaded, he makes his gas pedal check, the 55 team, who has literally no luck at all, and he's going after Pete McAtee. And look at this, they pump fenders, and Steckel somehow gets it done, and a blue roll of 2 is going to get him up into the middle group. And he pretty much does not know what to do, I'm sure, up in that position. He's just hoping he can hang on. And Monica Merrick is next, and Merrick, she's going after JP in a blue 6. That'll get it done. So Pettis, easy come, easy go. Back into the bottom group he goes. And that takes us up to Jason Leonard. And Steckel looking over his shoulder. And this is going to be 5 even. Greco and a blue 3 gets passed on the brake pedal as he only has 2. So Leonard up into the middle group now. And that takes us up to Marlon McGarry, and Dastardly Dick Exum is going to get a crack as well. And McGarry going after Jason Leonard, who just got up there. And drivers, once you get that position, don't get complacent. There's someone on your tail, and Leonard back in the bottom group. Here comes Dastardly Dick Exum, and the Dastardly one going after the 2nd position odd, which is Kurt Bryson, and Bryson has 1 brake pedal to fend him off, but Exum gets it done. So the old man shows that he still knows how to race when he has to, and somewhere Steve Tower is smiling in his Exum Racing Team shirt. And going after the 1st position odd, KJ Nakashima and Sean Hashhagen. And KJ, he has been having a nice run of late, but he's going to get bounced back into the bottom group as well. And that takes us up to Graham Pleasant. And Pleasant, he passes the gas pedal check. He's going to move up as well, and that will be the 5th position. Disco Stu is supplanted. So lots of activity between the bottom and middle group on this turn. Wayne Montana He sees everyone else going. He's going to say, what about me? He goes after McGarry, and McGarry has a brake pedal bonus and control, but a blue 3 gets it done for Wayne. So Big Sky up into the middle group. Next up is KP. And Pettis passes a gas pedal check, and he's going after the 6th spot, Monica Merrick, and he's going to get it done. And next up is Mooch Thomas, and Mooch, he doesn't like to make skill checks because he has the red triangle, and if he misses, Moochamania will come to an early end, and he is done. Misses the gas pedal check, so Mooch is out of the race. He exits on lap 11, and his fans are heartbroken as he goes out with a problem. And just for a little flavor, we will roll to see what that is. And 16 cut his tires up, and his pit crew is not going to be able to get him back on the track. I guess they only brought one set of tires with them, unfortunately. And Lucas Vanover will be next, and Vanover passes a gas pedal check, and he's going after the 2nd spot, Evan High-Tech UTech, and one brake pedal bonus ain't going to be enough for you, Evan and Vanover. So the face of this race is changing rapidly. Gary Pine now. And Pine passes gas pedal check. He's going after the 3rd spot odd, Robbie Petrosky, and a blue 1's going to get it done because Petrosky does not have the control trait. And finally, Lonnie Lane. So the makeup of this field has changed, and Lane misses the gas pedal check. And meanwhile, everyone will move up as Mooch Thomas is out of the race, and pit crews nationwide pour a little bit on the ground for the Mooch man as he exits the race. And we head to turn number 12. And we have a duel, and this is going to be the number 5 car in the top group. And that is Jeff Daly Jr. So Daly Jr., he's going to go after Trostel. He only needs a 5 or better. He gets it done. So Trostel now going to have to make the save, and he does have a pit crew still in the first third of the race, so it is going to be well, he's going to succeed automatically. It would be an 11, but with the +1, it is a 12, so he is good. No harm, no foul there. Just a little couple of evil glances cast across the track at each other as we head to turn number 13 and top group. And this is going to be trouble. So here we go. Starting with Snook, he needs a 10 or better. He is good. Jeff Daly Jr., a 10 or better. He's good. Ray Bob, the Duke of Dixie, needs a 9. He barely hangs on, gets sideways, straightens it out. Cam Croyle, a 10. He is good. And Kendrick, with a performance chip, gets to keep it and stay in the race. Trostel. Oh, and Trostel is collected. No bueno. And Denny Baker. Baker stays put. So that will put us a turn under yellow. And Trostel, once again, he will make the save because, again, he has 1 to 11 plus the bonus, but he goes a lap down to the back of the pack. And the yellow flag is going to come out, so everyone will automatically move up. And Scott Steckel in 13th place, and he has not seen these lofty heights forever. And everybody else in the back moving up as well. 3 cars now down a lap, and turn 14 is conducted under yellow. And we are not within 2 turns of a pit stop, or will be this turn, so unable to take an early pit. Head to turn 14, top group, and this is going to be control check. So things will get interesting here as to Faro, and again, double control for the snooker. It's going to take a blue 6 to even contemplate moving past him. Baker doesn't have the skill, neither does Kendrick. That performance chip going to waste. Croyle can't get it done. Ray Bob, the Duke of Dixie, no, almost. Jeff Daly Jr. does not have the skill. So on to turn 15 we go. And middle group, and 7 will be a star check. And we will start that with Lonnie Lane. So Lane looking to move up into the top group, misses the gas pedal check. Bilovich does not have it. Wayne Big Sky Montana will be our next driver to get a check. And Big Sky going after the 4th position, and Kendrick has those brake pedals, so he fights that off easily, gets to keep his performance chip. Next up will be Graham Pleasant, and Pleasant, he's going after Daly Jr. and passes the gas pedal check, so a 1 bonus there, and the star trait not going to be enough as Graham Pleasant. And the mellow one, always staying under the radar, makes no enemies, has many friends. He is now right behind Snook up top. Gary Pine will be next, and Pine goes after Ray Bob. And the Duke of Dixie with his brake pedals fights that off with ease. And finally, Julie Justice taking her first run at the top, and she fails her gas pedal check. Dick Exum. And Exum with the star quality. He's going to make a run for the top, going after Cam Croyle. And a 4. And Croyle has 3 brake pedals with the trait and the bonus. So Exum, he's going to rocket up into 4th place. And all those people who questioned why he took his protege's place in this week, this race can, as he would say, probably kiss his rear end, and that's going to get it done for turn number 15. So the Dastardly one in the top 7 now, and it's going to be a top group, and again a star check. Let's see if he can maybe ride that into 1st place. Now Snook has that trait as well, so again it will take a blue 6 to get it done, and Tafaro does not do it. Dangerous Denny Baker, and Baker gets it done. So Snook had his eyes on someone else, and Baker just snuck right by. Kendrick does not have the trait. Dick Exum. So for this to be successful, it would take a roll of 5, blue 5 or better. Exum fails a gas pedal check. And Ray Bob, he is a double star, and he gets it done on the 1st crack. So Baker back into 3rd place, and Graham Pleasant, our newly anointed 2nd place runner, and he is going to fail. So we will head to the pits on turn 16 with a new leader, and that will be once again Ray Bob Walker. So Ray Bob's going to take us into the pits here. And this will be a middle group, and the 1 and 2 cars are going to switch places, so Pleasant and Baker. And back here, Vanover and Hashhagen will fall behind Justice and Croyle coming out of the pits. And we will roll for our performance chips now. 9 or better, and Walker can't get it. 4 for Baker, no. 5 for Pleasant, no. Dick Exum needs a 5. Almost. Kendrick needs a 6, no. Snook needs a 9. And finally, someone gets a performance chip. And Tafaro, he's going to need a 3, so stretching it there. And let's see who challenges our leader coming out of the pit. It's going to be Dangerous Denny Baker. And Baker cannot get it done. So the Duke of Dixie, as we come back out for turn 16, will retain his spot at the top of the field. And that is going to be a star check again in the 2nd group. So starting with Lonnie Lane, looking to move up, and Lane passes the gas pedal check and going after Denny Baker, and a blue 2, not going to get it done. Big Sky Montana, they're going to make a run at it now. And 2, and he's going after Baker as well, and Montana says, I'll show you how it's done. And Baker back into the middle group as Jeff Daly Jr. has his eyes set on the top spot, and his eyes are set on Dick Exum. And Exum not going to be able to defend that as his time at the top short-lived, a couple of laps in the top 7. And Gary Pine will go next. And Gary Pine going after the 4 card, but that's going to be easily defended, a blue 1. And Kendrick once again keeps that performance chip. He is going to need to use it at some point. Maybe now. Julie Justice, the Queen of Scram, making a run at Grand Pleasant. And Justice gets it done easily. So as usual, she is lurking right around the top. And finally Cam Croyle. And Croyle going after Big Sky, and a 4 is going to get it done for Croyle. So we head to turn 19 now. And the Queen of Scram, who started in the bottom group again, has fought her way up and is now breathing down our race leader's neck. And this will be second group at control check. So starting with Lonnie Lane, and Lane passes a gas pedal check and going after the 4th spot, Kendrick, and that's going to be enough to get it done. So Kendrick will finally have to spend that performance chip. Next up, Brooks Bilovich, and Bilovich going after Julie Justice, and a blue 5. And Justice with double control, 2 brake pedals, and the bonus for the group, not going to get past. So she shows why she is the Queen of Scram. KP is next, and KP going after Snook and a blue 4. And Snook with his bonuses and the 2 brake pedals going to fight that off easily. Dick Exum is next. And Exum also, he's going after Kendrick. So passes a gas pedal check and 3, but Kendrick with the group bonus and 2 brake pedals says, no sir you don't. Scott Steckel, Steckel of all people, shooting for the top group, going after Jeff Daly Jr. Blue 6, are you kidding? Steckel fighting off an entire season of frustration not qualifying, suddenly finds himself in 4th place. Wow. Gary Pine going next, and Pine will go after Snook. And that actually is, well, no, Snook has double control plus the bonus, and the group bonus is 5, so it's going to take a 6 to get past him, plus he has that chip. So he fights off Pine in a nice duel down the back stretch. Lucas Vanover next, and Vanover going after Kendrick. He misses the gas pedal check. Sean Hashhagen. And Hashhagen going after Tafaro, and he's going to get it done and knock Tafaro back down into the middle group. And finally, Pleasant and Montana will both get cracks at this. And going after Steckel, so Pleasant in a nice way passes him. A little friendly nod exchange there as Steckel falls back into 9th spot. And Wayne Montana, Big Sky, fails the gas pedal check. So we head to turn number 20 here. And middle group again, 6 going to be a reflex check. So we'll start with Bilovich, who has double reflex. And Bilovich probably picked the wrong guy to go after. He's going after this snooker, and 2 is not going to get it done, so he will go again. This time he sets his sights on Kendrick. That might be a little bit easier. Passes the gas pedal check, and it will be as Bilovich vaults up into 5th, and the angry one, Rowdy Randy Kendrick, back to 18th. Kevin Pettis has his sights set on Julie Justice, and Justice fights him off. Dick Exum going to make another run at the top, and going after 3rd spot Pleasant, and Pleasant has the control plus the group bonus. He's going to defend. Paul Chen has absolutely no chance to get up there. Gary Pine is next. A blue 1 will make that a failure, going after Snook. Lucas Vanover, and Vanover tries Justice but fails the gas pedal check. Chuck DeFaro passes the gas pedal check, and triple 1s. And that is going to be a potential problem. So 62 and clutch problem, roll for repair. So we will see what happens here, and we are in the second part, or second third of the race, and Tafaro has a C pit. He's going to take a roll of 6 with the bonus, and Tafaro is done. So Tafaro goes out on lap number 20 with a clutch. And no yellow flag on that, so we will proceed with the checks. And Wayne Big Sky Montana will be the next or last one in the middle group. And Big Sky, he's going after Snook as well, and a 6 is enough to get it done, but Snook says, I got this. He fights him off. So everyone will now move up. And Paul Chen trying to stay out of everyone's sights here. And Petrosky needs a 4 to get into the top group. He's got it. And we still have 3 drivers a lap down. And Alex Hodge, he's back here. He says, I don't care. As long as I finish in front of somebody, I'm going to be a happy man because I made the field and I'm getting paid this week. So on to lap 21, turn 21, I should say. And 3 middle group, and that is going to be a star check. So after things started rough and we thought we'd have had a lot of angry drivers on the track, it's kind of turned into a little bit of a cleaner race. So star quality, Lonnie Lane making a run at the top, fails his gas pedal check. Going to take us up to Dangerous Denny Baker, and Baker going after Brooks Bilovich. He's going to come and slip by him, gets in his backdraft, and then launches himself past. Nice little slingshot move. Dick Exum next, and Exum going after Snook, and Snook, he's got 5, or actually no, he only has 4, so Dick Exum, of all people, passes the Snooker. Gives him a 1-finger salute as he is back in the top 7. Running, as always, his curmudgeon-y self. Gary Pine will be next. So some unfamiliar drivers up top as Pine fails a gas pedal check. And finally, Big Sky Montana. And Montana going after Hashhagen. He's going to easily slip past him. They only swap 7th and 8th, though, as we head into turn number 22. And Julie Justice still waiting for that first opportunity to vault into the top. And 2, going to be top group, and it will be a rare event. And doubles, that is also going to be a potential problem. So on that, and actually, no, never mind. Had a minor brain jam there. So we will go to the rare event chart, top group. So 15 and 15 driver incident top group. So driver incident, use the driver finder to determine which driver sparks the incident. The incident will involve either the driver in the next place ahead or behind. So for the top group, that is going to be Dastardly Dick Exum, go figure. And Bullet ahead, blank behind, and it is going to be Montana. Both drivers rolled their trouble range and resolved using the usual procedure and are placed on the feud list. So Exum making friends with Big Sky Montana, and he's going to need to roll a 7. Actually, we're in the second part. Yeah, 7 to escape. And he's good. Big Sky also needs a 7, and he is good as well. So they swap a little bit of paint, but they go on the feud list, and they are the third set of drivers we have feuding. And Exum probably will not run in next week's race, so we will see if Montana looks to send a message and take this out on his driver as well, or if it is squashed today. And we move on to lap number 23. And 3, and that'll be middle group 9, will be a control. So Lonnie Lane gets the first shot at it, and Lane misses the gas pedal check, and up to KP, Kevin Pettis, and Pettis gets it done. He's going after Dangerous Denny Baker, and Baker does not have the control, so all he has to fall back on is, oh, wait a minute, does have a brake pedal plus the 1 bonus. He fights it off. Brooks Bilovich is next. And Bilovich fails the gas pedal check. Clark Snook with double control, so he's going to get 2 cracks at this. And he is going after Julie Justice. And Justice also has double control, so she fights him off. Going to take one more run at it, and he fails his gas pedal check. So Justice, 2 of Scram's heavyweights go at it there, and Justice defends her spot. Next up, Gary Pine and Vanover will both give it a crack. And trips, and that is trouble for Pine, or a problem for Pine. 53, and problems are becoming serious here. Handling issues, roll for repair. So Pine, he has a pit crew of B, and we're in the middle third of the race, which would be 1 to 7, but he gets the bonus, so 2 to 8, 1 to 7. So he is good, but he's going to go to the back of the pack a lap down, and that does not affect the challenges. So Vanover, he will get to give it a shot as well, and Vanover blue 1 will be an automatic failure. And Scott Steckel, of all people, and he gets a gas pedal check. He's going after Exum, and Exum, with a control trait and a 1 brake pedal bonus, isn't going to be enough to fight Steckel off. So Exum, after he outduels Snook, is outdueled by the journeyman, Scott Steckel, of all people. Steckel back in the top 7. Could he be this week's Miracle Man? And Hashhagen going after Montana, and he's going to get that done as well. So Montana back into 8th place as they swap spots again. And we will move everyone else up. As the snooker shaking his head, how does Exum get past him and then get passed by Steckel? So High Tech UTech needs a 4, and he's up into the middle group. And we now have 4 drivers a lap down as we head to turn number 24. And top group 8, that's going to be a skill check. So Hashhagen, no. Steckel, definitely not. Dangerous Denny Baker. And to pass Ray Bob with his 2 brake pedal bonus and the leader bonus is going to take a blue 5. Doesn't matter. And Julie Justice will be next. And Justice fails a gas pedal check. And Cam Crow does not have the skill. So on to turn 25, 2 turns away from a pit stop. And I forgot to mention, in both of our pit stops, we'll have to do some catch up here. Our sponsor of our first pit stop, Baseball Demos, and Dave there, he just recently put up the APA 1976 All-Star Game. Also does a lot of Strat one-offs, a tribute game recently, 1979 clash between I believe Rangers, and I forget the other team, but that was in tribute to a friend of his channel whose brother went to that game with him and unfortunately passed away in a drunk driving incident. Also had the 56 game hit project that he had started. And our sponsor for the second pit stop was Higher Grounds Gaming. That is Eric, Mr. Brody, and Miss Mags. And Eric in the middle of a 1978 Red Sox replay with Strat CPU. And we are caught up on our pit sponsors, so I will remember not to miss that this time. And so third group, and let's see, we'll just reroll. Lost track of everything. So 1 and an 8, and that is going to be skill check for the top group again. And 1, 2, 3 trolls. That's done. Okay. So we go, skill check, and that is going to be a 1. So first one to give it a shot is Dangerous Denny Baker, and to pass Ray Bob, it's going to take a blue 5. Julie Justice gets the next crack, and the last crack actually, and she won't get it done either. So we head to turn 26. And middle group, and 6 will be a reflex check. And reflex check, we will start with Evan High-Tech UTech, and he passes the gas pedal check. He's going after Cam Croyle and a blue 5. He's going to be successful, so UTech, after starting in a lowly position, is up into the top group and right on the race leader's heels. Robbie Petrosky, blue 1, will automatically fail. And Kendrick and Lane, no. Kevin Pettis, yes. And Pettis going after Julie Justice, and she's going to defend that easily. Brooks Bilovich, double reflex. And he goes after the number 4 car, Denny Baker. Gets it done, and he's going to take a shot at the leader here. Again, a blue 5 needed to supplant him, and Ray Bob's going to fight him off. A nice run nonetheless. Snooker's up next, and Snooker, problem time. And that continues to be an issue in this race. And 61, engine running hot, roll for repair. So Snooker, a pit crew of A, and we are in the middle third. It's going to take a roll of 10 with a bonus to get it done, and he just gets it done and gets back out on the track, but he's going to be a lap down too. And we will continue as there was no yellow flag brought out by that. So next up will be Jeff Daly Jr. And Daly Jr., blue 1, automatic failure there. And finally, Big Sky Montana looking to get back into the top group. He rolls a blue 1 as well. So we have a few drivers a lap down, and they are not getting an opportunity to get back on the lead lap. Rossi going to move up into the middle group. The good news for Snook is he has every trait that exists, so if the bottom group does come up, he will get his chances as we head to the pits now. And pit stop, and 6 going into the pits will be TV drivers and the leader if a TV driver. So 2 of our TV drivers are not eligible to get performance chips, unfortunately. So nobody in the top group is. Dick Exum, and Exum needs a 5 or better, doesn't get it. Paul Chen, a 3, and this is what happens when you do not have very good TV drivers. So nobody gets it. So that's a quick pit, and challenging for the lead coming out of the pits will be Hashhagen. And Hashhagen gets a 4, and he gets it done. And Walker had led for 10 laps, so he should have got a performance chip, which I missed. And he is going to use that to fight off that challenge, so he's going to stay in the lead. So when we get to lap 36, he is eligible to gain another performance chip. Yep, 36. So we will go to turn number 28 now. And still in the lead is Ray Bob Walker, the Duke of Dixie. And finally, the bottom group, and this will be a control check, and you notice the symbol, use trouble for final 4 turns. We are not there yet. So this will be control, and Snooker has double. Unfortunately, to get back on the lead lap, he's going to need a blue 6, and doesn't get it. Oh, he gets it, but he misses the gas pedal check. You knucklehead. That was your shot. No. For Pine. That's just crazy. Trevor Trostel, no. And Austin Bigler, no. So Ray Bob playing hard, and actually Billy Brett too. And Billy Brett, of all those drivers, is the only one that is able to get back on the lead lap. I guess Ray Bob doesn't take him seriously. That won't sit well with the Alabama Badass. But he is back on the lead lap now. And now we will be shooting for spots in the middle group. Here comes Greg Carl. He misses the gas pedal check. Pete McAtee, the veteran. And McAtee going after the second spot, Lucas Vanover. And Vanover has a control trait, but nothing else to help him, so he'll be bounced back into 32nd place as McAtee moves up. And Jordy Pettis, the Electric Gypsy, has his sights on a good finish this week. And 4 is good. He's going after his brother, of all people, but his brother's going to fight him off as a blue 1 doesn't get it done. Craig Greco going to give a run. And Greco going after Pete McAtee, who has a control trait. He's going to fight him off. Jason Leonard next. And Leonard going after 1 even. That's Montana, who also has a trait. A lot of blue 1s this turn. Kurt Bryson. And Bryson going after McAtee, and a blue 2 is going to get it done. So McAtee, easy come, easy go. Back to the bottom group. KJ Nakashima. And Nakashima fails the gas pedal check. So Kid Crafty, unable to conjure any magic at this point, or to this point in the race. And Disco Stu, he is going after 1 even. Montana, and Urich is going to supplant Big Sky and be right on the cusp of the lead group there. Last week's race winner, Marlon McGarry, and McGarry goes after Kevin Pettis, and what Kevin's brother could not get done, McGarry can, so the Pettis boys are now together in the bottom group. And finally, Monica Merrick, and Merrick going after the 4th spot odd, and that is Randy Kendrick, and Kendrick has his 2 brake pedals, but not going to be enough. So the rowdy one is bounced to the bottom group as we head to turn 29. And the leaderboard is interesting to say the least at this point in time, as we have a middle group and a rare result. So in the middle group, let's see what happens. A 16, black flag middle group. See black flag table. So black flag drivers sent to the end of the bottom group. We will have to see who they are, or that is, using the driver finder. And middle group 51, and that is going to be driver number 5, odd. And that's going to be Robbie Petrosky. So Petrosky, and he will go in front of everyone who is a lap down. And looking to move up, Rowdy Randy Kendrick, no. Kevin Pettis, yes. So KP back up into the middle group. And Robbie Petrosky slips in right behind Billy Brett as we head to turn number 30. And middle group, and that is a smart check. And that is the first time that has come up in this one. So Tom Rossi is going to get the first crack at the top group, fails the gas pedal check. Cam Croyle next. And Croyle, he's going after Brooks Bilovich and a blue 3. He's going to get it done as Bilovich does not have the smart quality. Next up, Marlon McGarry, and the veteran obviously has a smart quality. A blue 1 will be an automatic failure, however. Dangerous Denny Baker is next. He misses the gas pedal check. Kurt Bryson, and Bryson is going to have problems. So problems continue. And 65, Black Smoke from Under the Hood, roll for repair. So Bryson, he has a pit crew rating of A. And 40 laps. We are now in the final third of the race. So it's going to take a turn of 1 to 7, a roll of 1 to 7. And Black Smoke means goodbye. So 57, engine problems. And he is done for the day. And again, no yellow flag there. So challenges will continue, and Disco Stu has the double smart quality. So let's see what he can do. And Disco Stu going after Sean Hashhagen, who does not have the smart quality. He's going to move up into 7th place, and he's going to get a crack at the leader, Ray Bob Walker. Going to take a blue 5 to get it done, and not happening as Walker retains his lead. And everybody else is going to move up a place. And Rowdy Randy Kendrick looking to come back up from the bottom group. He does so. And this has turned into a race of attrition on actually a very repair-friendly track. So sometimes things do not go as planned as we head to turn 31, and we are in the final stretch here. And I forgot to do our last pit sponsor too. So sponsoring the pit stop we had 3 turns ago, ID Jester, and he is running currently a Bono's Baseball 1989 replay with inside pitch. Also recently has done some Warhammer Quest and Grim Dawn, so excellent channel, a wide variety of both sports and role-playing and strategy games, so please give him a check out. And again, that is ID Jester. And we are ready now for turn 31. And 6, we are going to have a duel, and 11, number 3 cars in the middle group. So this will be our first middle group duel, I believe. And that's going to be McGarry. McGarry definitely doesn't need to think twice. He goes after Hashhagen, gets his performance chip, and bounces Hashhagen back, who has to make a escape roll now. And 7, and he is collected. Now he needs to make a repair roll, and it's again final third. It will need to be a 6 or better. And Hashhagen, he's done. So guess who is going to go on the feud list for next week's race? That's right, Hashhagen and McGarry. As Hashhagen exits on lap number 31 via crash. And that will have a yellow flag come out for us. And the other driver there, Denny Baker, with only 3, he's not going to chance it the way things have been going on this track, so everyone else will move up. And turn 32 will take place under the yellow flag, so no gas pedal check needed to fill in the gap. And everybody moves up. So again, 4 drivers are still a lap down. And 3 of the drivers are actually top-notch great drivers. Bigler, Trostel, and Snook. They're among the leaders of the points leaders this season. So they're going to need to make something happen. as we head to turn 33. And we've got another duel. And 6, this will be the number 6 car in the top group. And Disco Stu, he says, why not? I'm going to take a shot at Evan High-Tech U-Tech, and I'm going to get it done. So performance chip for Disco Stu, and U-Tech now has to make a save. Needs a 7 to escape. He does so. And we head to turn 34. And 2 more turns, and Ray Bob's going to get another performance chip, and it's the wrong dice. So top group and 7 is going to be a star check, and U-Tech, no. Steckel, definitely not. Cam Croyle. And Ray Bob, Duke of Dixie is double starred, so it'll take a blue 6 to get past him. No for Croyle. Pleasant going to give it a shot. Nope. Julie Justice. No. And Disco Stu with his performance chip. But he does not have the star quality, so never mind. So turn 35. And middle group and 5 will be a heat check. So heat starts and ends with Rowdy Randy Kendrick always, and he's going after Evan High-Tech U-Tech in a blue 1. He's going to get rebuffed in his attempt to pass. And that takes us up to Brooks Bilovich, and Bilovich going after Disco Stu Urich and a 4, blue 4. And he's got his 1 bonus for top group and 2 brake pedals here, and he's going to have to use his performance chip, which could have come in handy for better things in fighting off a challenge, especially at this point in the race, and that does it. So we head to lap 36, and our leader, Ray Bob Walker, now 20 laps in the lead position, gets another performance chip. So the Duke of Dixie on the verge of a heavenly run here in this one. Middle group again, this will be a skill check. And we'll start with Big Sky Montana. Misses the gas pedal check. Rowdy Randy Kendrick is next, and Kendrick is going to find himself some problems here. Triples everywhere. 52 on the problem finder chart, and that is going to be clutch problem, roll for repair, pit crew A, no clutch problem. Guess what you don't have? A pit crew of A. So pit crew of B, final third. With the bonus, he needs 2 to 5, and he somehow stays in the race, but he's going to go a lap down. Sorry about that, my friend. No yellow flag. And next up, we will have KP, Kevin Pettis. He has been running a pretty solid race. His brother, not so much. And Pettis is going after U-Tech. And U-Tech, he does have the skill trait and a brake pedal, but a blue 4 is going to be enough for Kevin to vault past him. And next up will be Lonnie Lane. Bilovich does not have the skill trait. And Lane misses the gas pedal check. Monica Merrick. And Merrick misses the gas pedal check. Dangerous Denny Baker. And Baker, blue 1, going to be rebuffed. And Paul Chen, of all people, with a shot at it. And the unassuming non-trophy driver does not make the gas pedal check. Jeff Daly Jr. Going after the second spot, Julie Justice. She's going to easily swat him back into the middle group. And Marlon McGarry, no. So Parnell Drake misses the gas pedal check. Kid Crafty misses his. Pete McAtee, he gets it done. So he's going to come up into the middle group. And hope is fading for our drivers who are a lap down, as they are unable to get past Ray Bob Walker and get back on the lead lap. As we head into the pits, and Ray Bob, he's going to make a tactical decision here. So let's see how this turns out. Ray Bob Walker is going to forego the final pit stop, as any driver in the top group can, and he's going to try and finish on low fuel. So basically at this point, for other drivers to have a crack at him, well, they'll either have to gamble that he fails or do the same to stay with him. And drivers, and house rule there for drivers that make that, decide to do that, as that's an optional rule. There has to be I guess, somewhat of a penalty for not trying to do it. Obviously, if you do try and you fail, you are going to fall back numerous places. So in this case, electing to pit or skip the pit will be an automatic chip. So that's a house rule, and that is almost going to force other drivers to do it. Disco Stu is going to, and Julie Justice is going to. Graham Pleasant and Disco Stu actually will not. He has the smart trait, and that will stop him from doing it. Cam Croyle, no. Graham Pleasant going to do it. Scott Steckel, he has the smart trait, and he just is happy to be where he's at. So, based on that, Justice moves up. So this is our order as we head into the last laps, and everybody else will make their pit stops but not get a performance chip, obviously. And we head on to turn number 37. 3 turns to go. So let's see if Ray Bob Walker, if his gamble will pay off. And at last we go to the bottom group. And this is going to be a skill check. And just a side to this rule, if a driver who's a lap down gets back on the lead lap, he cannot use a performance chip to defend it. It pretty much has to be, he just concedes that at this point. He does not have the skill, so it's going to take a blue 5 to get it done. And Kendrick going first, and he doesn't get it done. Clark Snooker, no. And Gary Pine does not have the skill. Trevor Trostel does, and Trostel, but he rolls a red 6, doesn't pass the gas pedal check, and these guys are just doomed to finish down a lap down. Wow. So we will do our normal checks for the middle group now. Robbie Petrosky, and Petrosky, he's going after 5 odd, which is Evan High-Tech UTEC, and UTEC has the skill and a brake pedal, but not going to be enough. That's Petrosky making a late run here. The Alabama Badass, Billy Brett, he looks like he might do the rare thing of finishing a race. He's going after Bilovich, and Bilovich does not have the skill, so the Alabama Badass going to move up into a little bit better income range. Alex Hodge, of all people, with the skill trade. And Hodge going after 4 odd, and that is Billy Brett. And Hodge, the non-trophy scrub, is going to vault past him, and that's not going to make Brett very happy. Next up, the Electric Gypsy, Jordy Pettis, and Pettis fails a gas pedal check. Vic Holder up next, and Holder going after the 4th spot even, Lonnie Lane. And Lonnie Lane does have the skill trait, but no gas pedals to fight him off, or brake pedals. Sunny Swain, and we haven't heard a thing from Sunny in this race, still won't as she fails the gas pedal check. And Greco fails his. Chris Wynn. And Wynn going after the 4-position odd car, Alex Hodge, so he's going to get up there. And Hodge is back in the bottom group, but still ahead of Billy Brett, and that finishes that challenge. So we head now to turn number 39, and there are 2 turns to go. And Ray Bob Walker, we're going to see if this gamble pays off. Middle group 3, and that is a TV check. So that is going to be TV drivers only in the middle group, and we do have 5 of them there. So starting off with Dangerous Denny Baker, and the only thing that the top group has to fight them off are their normal brake pedals, of course, and the brake pedal bonus. So Baker fails his gas pedal check, and Chen fails his. Jeff Daly Jr. does not fail his, and he's going after Steckel, and he gets past him easily. He picked the weak link in the top group and went at it. Dastardly Dick Exum, and Exum! And he's going after the second position and Graham Pleasant, and Pleasant not going to have enough to fight him off, so oh, I'm sorry, he's got his chip. He does fight him off. So we'll see how that gambit pays off, though. And finally, Marlon McGarry, who has a performance chip as well. And Pettis, I did not give a performance chip to. He should still have one. So McGarry, 5, and he's going after the second spot. And this time Pleasant has nothing to swat him back. So that gamble is going to backfire for Graham Pleasant. And we are now heading to the final lap, and this is going to get interesting, folks. So 6, and we're going to finish the race with a duel and a feud on top of that. So it's going to actually go to that. Now this is the last lap, so we can have a dual challenge for the lead. And currently we have three teams involved in duels. Plonka is out of the race, as is Cacciola. So it is basically going to be the 3 and 99 teams and the 10 and 36 teams. So Bullet will be UTEC and Hendricks, and Blank is going to be the 99 car Big Sky Montana and Dick Exum. So let's see what happens. And it is Kendrick and UTEC. So Kendrick, he is currently residing in, where the heck is he? Randy Kendrick, please report. Oh, he's down at the bottom, never mind. So he's down there, and UTEC is 10. UTEC is just ahead of him in 30 seconds. So UTEC the Rabbit and Kendrick the Turtle. And 4, Rabbit to bottom plus trouble. So UTEC is actually already on the bottom of the lead lap. So if he makes his escape check, he will stay there, and he does not. So he needs to make a repair check now, and he has a pit crew rating of B, and this is in the final third, so it's going to take a 7 with the bonus to get it done. And he gets it done, but he is back with Kendrick now and a lap down. So that feud is going to carry over to the next race as well. So we'll have 3 feuds going over to race number 12. And to finish this out, on the last turn, you can select a duel for at the leader. So feud, we're going to add that on to the feud result here, and just going to roll for a random driver, and it is going to be Kevin Pettis, So Pettis is going to make a crack, but in this case, he gets to use his brake pedal bonuses here, so that will be a blue 5 will be required, and he has his performance shifts too. So a failure, and let's just see if they keep them. It doesn't really matter. They both decide to expend one. So across the finish line, and Pettis makes a last-minute surge at the lead. It's futile, though, as Ray Bob fights it off easily. But is he going to have enough to get across the finish line as we come down the final home stretch? And a roll of 5 or 6, he's going to run out of gas. Let's see if he can make it. And he is good. Julie Justice, does she stay in the race? She does. Kevin Pettis. Pettis is good. And finally, Graham Pleasant. And Pleasant runs out of gas. His gamble comes up short. So he is going to drop 12 big places. So he goes from 8th place all the way back to the top of the bottom group. And everyone else here, so Pleasant, he got hosed. He lost his performance chip, got knocked out of the top group, and ran out of gas. And could have parlayed that into a nice little finish, but does not. Parnell Drake fails the gas pedal check. Kid Crafty, he fails his. Jason Leonard, and Leonard's going to get it done. So that's how it finishes. So running across the finish line on fumes, the winner of the Rubicon Wireless 400, the Duke of Dixie, Ray Bob Walker. And Walker, this is going to be his first win of the season and his second top 3 and third top 10. And he came... he was lurking around the top 10, so this should vault him into the top 10 in points. An exciting finish to this race. And the Queen of Scram, her gamble pays off. Julie Justice finishes in second, and she came into this race the points leader. This is only going to widen that lead. Third place is Marlon McGarry. Fourth place will be KP Kevin Pettis with his best finish of the season. Disco Stew in 5th. Cam Croyle in 6th, and Jeff Daly Jr. And rounding out the top 10, a shocker, as this makes 3 races in a row, we've had a journeyman rise from the ashes to complete a top 10 finish. In 8th place, it will be dastardly Dick Exum, giving the middle finger to all those saying that he should not race and let his prodigy Aaron Hartley run the remainder of the season out. 55, Scott Steckel, the much maligned Scott Steckel. In fact, coming into this race, he had actually failed to qualify for a single start. Actually, he had 1 qualification all season. So Steckel not only qualifies, but gets a top 10. And Paul Chen in the number 16 car, he gets a top 10 finish as well, as he came into this race in 45th place or 44th place in the standings. And this will be his first top 10 finish of the season and probably his last. Those that did not have such good luck finishing a lap down are Austin Bigler, the Terminator Trevor Trostel, Gary Pine, Clark Snook, the Snooker, Rowdy Randy Kendrick, and Evan Hitech Utech. So some big names coming up a lap down and finishing at the rear of the field in this one. But that wraps it up. And once again, as he makes his victory lap, the Duke of Dixie, Ray Bob Walker, is your winner in this week's Rubicon Wireless 400. And again, thank you to all the friends of the channel. And our final shout out goes to my good buddy Al, Red Sox fan. Check out his great channel. He runs Strat CPU Out of the Park 19 and Title Bout, and he currently has a 1960 Red Sox move to 500 replay going. And they got off to an abysmal start that season, so he's trying to get them back to the 500 mark. 1968 Bob Gibson and Denny McClain replay, where they are pitching, they're each making a start against each of the 2017 teams. And also a current Title Bout heavyweight boxing tournament, so keep an eye out for that. A wonderful, wonderful venture he has going on there. And thanks to all the friends of the channel who are sponsors in this one. And in our next race, our sponsors will include Tabletop Baseball Plus, Earl and Earl, Stratomatic Delaware, Combat Painter, Clinton Parks, Broke Black Man 94, and What's Blazing in Sports. So we'll give a brief description of each of those channels next race out. So again, please support our friends. If you like this video, please give a thumbs up, smash that like button. Any comments, suggestions you have, please leave those in the comments. And until next time, keep rolling for that finish line and hope you've had a great weekend. We'll see you later.